I fell in love with writing, and I kind of use writing as my therapy, a way to express my thoughts, what I was going through. I was able to reach out to different athletes that were going through similar situations as me. So for me, writing, I never saw writing as a career path. Once I fell in love with it, I think school helped me cultivate it even further.
You're listening to HBCU and Entertainment, where diversity, equity, and inclusion refine the future of entertainment. I'm your co host, Amira Johnson, Alumni and Campus Relations Coordinator at ECOP, and welcome back to another episode. In this episode, we're featuring one of our amazing alumni, Tyler Fisher. Tyler Fisher is a writer, director, entrepreneur from Charlotte, North Carolina, passionate about storytelling that inspires and uplifts. His work explores themes of empowerment, faith, comedy, and history, blending entertainment with meaningful messages. Tyler believes directing is about perspective, using film to spark conversations, evoke emotion, and encourage self discovery. I can't wait for you to hear more about his journey. With that being said, let's dive into today's conversation. Hi, Tyler.
Hey, Amira, how are you doing?
Pretty good. How about you?
I can't complain, honestly. It's a beautiful day.
Yes, I'm loving the background. It just like makes me happy seeing you outside, right? Seeing like the sun and everything. I love it. I'm here for
Thank you
it.
so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. It's beautiful.
Absolutely, absolutely. So excited to talk to you today. I think this podcast really gives us an opportunity to just explore more about our alumni and to just really get the stories that are behind all of these wonderful students that enter into the program, you being one of them. So, I'm really excited to have you and would just love to dive right in if you're ready.
Oh yeah, I'm so down.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So you have a very captivating story from being homeless and becoming a first generation graduate to then breaking into the entertainment industry. Would love to just ask you if you're comfortable, if you could maybe walk us through your journey and how you got to where you are today, and how have you accomplished all the amazing things that you've done?
Yeah. So it's been a long journey. And I feel like I'm still at the beginning of my journey. But I could give you the short form. So like you said, I was homeless. I lived in the Salvation Army's women's shelter right there on Graham Street in North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina. If we wasn't at the shelters, a lot of times we were getting evicted and moving around town and different people's houses and stuff. And I think that really cultivated in me just being able to adapt to your environment and to learn about different types of people whenever you're going through different situations. During that time of my life, I wanted to use football as a way out of homelessness and poverty. So I dedicated my life to the sport. I've been playing since I was like 6 or 7. And up until my senior year of high school, right before our senior season, I had broke my leg. They had to put 7 screws in the plate on my leg, and it took me about 6 to 9 months to rehabilitate and walk again. So during that time, I fell in love with writing, and I kind of use writing as my therapy, a way to express my thoughts, what I was going through. I was able to reach out to different athletes that were going through similar situations as me. So for me, writing, I never saw writing as a career path. I just honestly just used it to express myself and express my thoughts. From there, I self-published 2 more books, of a children's book called Fried Chicken and Yams about gratitude, and an affirmations book called Stay Fast. From Stay Fast, which was birthed in college, uh, I built a community and I built a clothing brand around it. And I wanted to expand my literature to fashion because honestly, a lot of the people, my audience was growing, but a lot of the people around my age, they wasn't really into reading. So I wanted to find new, different ways to tell a story, but do it through a different medium. And afforded to me by college was community and access to scholarships and access to community. Uh, I was the vice president of the entrepreneurship club, collegiate 100 Black men. So just practicing those leadership roles while in college at my HBCU, the best HBCU, NCCU, I was able to develop into a young leader on my campus. And through the writing studio on our campus, they helped me win over 10 scholarships, thanks to Miss Beverly Mahomes. Some people know her as Auntie Bev on Instagram, but she helped me cultivate one of my first essays of refining my story. And from there, I used that formula for the rest of my scholarship. So although I wasn't able to go to college on the football scholarship, I was able to win 10 academic scholarships. And from there, uh, around like my senior year, because I didn't hear about HBCU in LA till like my senior year. So I applied and I graduated and got in that next summer, and the rest was history. I was able to be a PA on basketball lines as a talent driver. I got in close with the crew and the producers in the video village, and the next season they brought me on as a producer. So that was just an amazing experience of being able to uh, impose your will, ideas, and curiosity with your peers around you so you can learn and grow. And I didn't expect them to hit me back up and and ask if I wanted to be a producer. And it was only one answer, you know. And I think in that role, it pushed me um, not only to tell professional stories, but learn the background of how these shows are being created from the script writer, producer, giving beats to talent, giving notes to executives, and getting feedback from executives, creating events for the cast. Like I learned a lot in that experience, and from there, I was also at Crazy Maple Studios, a development studio, as a development assistant. So uh, whether it was being a production assistant on set at Complex Con or with TikTok campaigns or producing on Basketball Wives or developing at Crazy Maple Studios, I think I'm really understanding on that not only Hollywood is a business, but also that the different stories we tell are very, I would say, depending on the platform you want them on, it depends on what type of story you want to tell. So I learned a lot through this process, and I feel like I'm scratching the surface. So I can't wait to what other opportunities that I come across on or create.
Wow. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just congratulations on your journey so far. Everything that you touched on. It's just, I think you are just scratching the surface because this is just the beginning. There's so much you've already done, but there's so much I think that's still happening for you. Just everything that you touched upon with writing sort of being your form of therapy to help you, and then turning that in a way to write books. Talked about your affirmations book, which I think affirmations are wonderful and should just be more of a daily use, which they are slowly becoming. But I love
Yeah.
that you're able to write a book about that. And just, wow, everything is just congratulations. Proud of you on your journey. So really
Thank
happy
you
that,
so much.
yeah,
I
absolutely.
appreciate that, Amir.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Really happy that you were just able to share that today. But would love to just kind of go back to your HBCU. I think that's a nice way to kind of talk
Mhm.
about how did that experience prepare you for the industry? Were there any professors, or I know you touched upon student orgs, were there any student orgs that really helped you gain valuable skills that you were able to carry with you today as you make your way throughout your career journey?
Yeah, I'll say mainly my school helped a lot of ways. More so in my habits, my attitude, and the way I carry myself, not specifically industry stuff. Because we actually didn't have an entertainment major. Like the closest thing we had was mass comm. So I was a business major first, failed accounting. Uh, then I took accounting again and I passed. But then I realized I don't want to be a business major. Um, I want to do mass comm. I know a quote by Warren Buffett. Uh, he said something like this. He was like, if you can increase your communication skills, you can increase your value by 10%. And I wanted to increase my value in all ways. shape, or form, I wanted to be able to speak and write well because when there's communication, whether it's on a project, whether it's on a job, when there's a streamline of communication, there's less errors, I feel, and it's a clear vision for the objectives of the project or job that you're at. So uh, I just fell in love with the communication department. I used all those resources. I had some great professors letting me know about the media world as far as broadcasting, because we didn't have, like I said, a lot of entertainment stuff, but what we did have is the writing studio. And specifically in that, I was able to cultivate my voice and refine it through the writing studio and the access to those resources on campus. And a lot of times our school would invite guest speakers, have workshops, and look, I was in my emails more than I was in my iMessages. Like I was always looking for opportunities, ways I can expand, learn, and grow. And yeah, that's where a lot of my opportunities came from. But Central as a whole, it's just an amazing experience. Any HBCU experience from the band, from the football games, from homecoming, just to the people, the calf, fried chicken Wednesdays. It was just an amazing experience in the culture. And yeah, it's just an amazing experience. Hopefully I answered your question.
You did, definitely. I think it's so special just to have a community, um, just on campuses of HBCUs. It's nothing like it. So just those special moments that sort of help you and just gain, I like how you put it, like not necessarily all skills just for the industry, but just skills that you carry with you throughout life in general that you could just apply to your life. So love that. Thank you for just talking more about your experience at Central. So would love to go back to that initial moment that you had where you had your interest in the entertainment industry specifically. Was there a moment that sparked your interest, or a person, or any movies or people that you looked up to that sort of helped you spark interest in being in the industry?
Yeah, I mean, everybody gives me inspiration. Like I can walk in the park and look at a flower and I'm just inspired because I think it's all about perspective. But what I will say is, of course, I mean Tyler Perry. That's a very I grew up watching his plays, so that has been an inspiration. But I really didn't know I wanted to be in the entertainment industry till like my senior year. I just like I think I was like more so focused on entrepreneurship at the time, and I think applying to the HBCU in LA program, having an uncle that was already out in Cali. He was producing some things as well. And it kind of like sparked my interest. Like I never saw myself living in Cali, but here I am. So I think the initial part of being able to tell my story was from my first book, Cardiac Cardinals. But as far as the entertainment specifically, is when I wanted to expand my books into the screen, like Harry Potter or Invincible, that started off as a comic book, or Walking Dead, that started off as a comic book, and just creating something from written work and seeing that on screen. And that happened, like I said, around my senior year, just seeing the opportunities books and literature can take you. So I think uh, during that time, senior year, you trying to figure out where you're going to go, what direction you're going to take. And I just took it up with God and I applied for this program. Luckily, I got in, and that was just my sign to let go home and grow and see where I can go during the late. So I think it was more of a gradual, like epiphany, um, if anything. But yeah, Tyler Perry, Donald Glover, I mean, Tyler, the Creator, they took all the good names, but I'll create my own. Uh, there's so many wonderful actors and producers. Like I can send you an email later of the list, but yeah, that's me.
I love it. And I love what you just said too, about names. Like, I'll create my own. Just that alone just shows you the all the things that are ahead of you that you don't even know that are coming your way yet. Just all the opportunities, all the people that are coming into your life that'll just help expand all of your dreams and all your goals that you have going on. So I love that quote. I think that should be on a shirt, just like everywhere, as just a reminder of like, the talent that you have inside of you is just your own. And as you go throughout life, you'll be able to slowly just see all of the ways that you're talented kind of pour back into you and your life. So that just really stuck with me. But love hearing more
Thank you.
about, absolutely, love hearing more about what sparked your interest in the industry and just seeing how you slowly kind of began to take a liking towards it and then pursuing it. So you did mention HBCU in LA and would love to talk about that. If you could talk to us more about what HBCU in LA has brought into your life and how it has contributed to your success.
I think community, like, it's so many amazing people, like, to get the prestigious, prolific, and powerful people on campus, from different HBCUs around the country is amazing, and just to be in a room with them, it's amazing to hear their idea, to hear their perspectives, to hear their stories. It's very inspiring, and, Stacey and Ted just have been doing an amazing job in our team of just cultivating a place where you can grow, whether it's partnering with agencies, going on tours at Paramount, Universal. I would say exposure in access. A lot of times, growing up, the people around me in my hood, like, they only acted like what they had access to. And I think being able to have access to see Black creatives being successful in the industry has been inspiring. And I'll say the main thing HBCU in LA has provided for me is access and exposure. And I think that's something any creative would want. And I'm just blessed to be in this position, and it's all God's glory, to be honest.
Love that. Love that. I think I agree. Just the community and the exposure and the access that comes from the program is unmatched and really a blessing just to be able to be in the middle of the industry and just network and gain all these opportunities. So it really is amazing. So you did mention before that you were able to work on the show Basketball Wives. So I just want to ask you a little bit about your time there. So from the outside world, right, reality TV is something that people either love or they hate. You were producer on Basketball Wives. Would love if you could talk to us more about the behind the scenes when it comes to scripting, production, and what the public sees in the reality TV show area. And a follow up question for you after that. Just want to know more about if you are a fan of reality TV yourself.
That's a great question. I'll say this. A lot of times what I tell people is, uh, usually when you see reality stars crying or they're going through situations, like, those are real situations. A lot of it is emphasized and dramatized to for entertainment, of course. But most of it is just planning out their lives as naturally as possible, but filming it. So coordinating with the talent producer. Okay, are you gonna go out for what time are you gonna go out for brunch with your girls? So the crew can work around that. So anything producing is we're working around the clock 24/7. So we can be in constant communication and streamline their lives. So we can easily streamline them in their lives. So a lot of it is just communication. Um, and as far as the stories, I mean, a lot of times we just give them beats about their daily lives. Sometimes we be instigating, I'm not gonna lie. We be instigating some stuff. But I will say overall, uh, like say for instance, Evelyn Lozada, like when she cries on screen, that's real tears. And when she's going through things with her family, those situations are real. And a lot of times, um, we're not able to capture everything just because it's their real lives and we're only recording a certain amount of parts. So Overall, it's a great experience. If you're a producer, you just meet the crew on set. When I was first started off as PN, being able to go to the office, pick up all the snacks, equipment, walkie-talkies, your hair gear, make sure you're checking in with audio, make sure they're good, cam department, talent producers, always checking with talent producers. They know all the tea, uh, just so you can get the story right. And for me, as associate producer, my main job was being able to record on time code different things that was happening throughout the scene and send uh, two to four paper, 2 to 4 page papers to my executive producers in the network by the end of that night. So it's just it helped with my writing because I'm writing 2 to 4 pages every day over 4 to 5 months. So it's very strenuous. It's long hours. I think it's only one time I got off at 6 p.m. One time. And even then I wasn't off. I still had to do stuff when I get home. So I think it's anybody going into the entertainment industry is long hours, but if you love what you do, definitely do it. Reality TV, I love reality TV. Do I like drama? Not so much. So I think for me, the opportunity was just exposure to see how the functions work, because I'm more so about empowerment, uplifting. So for me, I think I just wanted the exposure to see professional network television and how it functions. And I took on the opportunity. I learned a lot. It pushed me to be a better writer, a producer, and it gave me great insight into the direction I want to go. So Basketball Wives has been a great experience. Loved all the talent, the crew, amazing people around me. And although it does get a little crazy behind the scenes, I will say it just prepares you before your next opportunity.
Wow, absolutely. Love that answer. Thank you for the insight you just provided, just in regards to all the stuff behind the scenes. Because a lot of us, we tune in when it's airing, but just everything you just spoke about, the long hours and just the process of getting everything together, that's really interesting just to hear about that. So, in addition to working on Basketball Wives, you've also worked with James Bland Productions, Carlton Jordan Media, and Crazy Maple Studios. So, wondering if you'd have a favorite career role or position so far, and why.
That's a great question. All of them were great. And I always take bits and pieces from each opportunity. Uh, but being biased, I mean, when you're working on your own projects, that's always the best, honestly, if I'm being transparent. But I will say I can't rank those because each of them gave me a different experience and knowledge about the industry. Working with James Bland, helping him out, being an assistant director on set, was an amazing experience with TikTok, with the TikTok campaigns. It gave me more insight into a growing company. They market uh, to their creators and their audience. So it was amazing directing with that with Carlton Jordan, producer, and so my uncle. Uh, you know, having somebody in the industry helps as well. Like he's already had like 15 to 20 years in the industry. So all of his mistakes and stuff, I'm just learning from that, from him. And like I said, even though he was my uncle, it never clicked to me to ever be in entertainment until, like I said, my senior year. I'm like, I do have some family out here, I might take that chance. And with Crazy Maple Studios, that was amazing. I was literally talking to God, like, how can I develop something from script to screen? And I, literally blessed with a job that I learned the whole process, being looking over 400 scripts, uh, having meetings with Netflix, Fox, different writers. Uh, it's been an amazing journey at each. So I can't rank them, but I will say each one has been a stepping stone to the next opportunity.
Absolutely, I love that. Also love, I feel like a theme throughout just the conversation so far has just been seeing the power of writing and seeing how things go from paper to screen, I think is just like a really beautiful process that a lot of people don't really know about, but it's just awesome to see all the thoughts that you kind of have in your head go from being ideas to actually being on paper and then being able to collaborate with like-minded individuals to seeing it on screen. So I love stuff like that. And I think it's so cool. Just writing is really great in all
Thank you.
aspects, just helping us therapy and then also just being able to put those experiences on screen to help people sort of relate to it or get any enjoyment from it. So love that. Here for
Literally.
writing. I love it. Think more
Thank
people
you.
should do it. Absolutely.
Literally. What's crazy
Yeah.
is, sorry to cut you off.
Oh, no, you're
Uh,
fine.
in school, I actually never liked my English classes. Like, I just never liked writing or English until, like I said, I started writing my first book and just reading what I like to read, not what you're being told to read. So I think, my love for writing came from outside of school. Then once I fell in love with it, I think school helped me cultivate it even further.
Absolutely. I love that. So would love to kind of stay on sort of the topic of script to screen that we just spoke about. So you actually are the creative director behind the short film POP, Purpose Over Pleasure. Would love if you could talk to us about that and just the experience behind that journey.
Yeah, that was my first short film series. I wrote, directed, acted, produced all of the
Wow.
things. And I think this project was special to me because a year before I created it, my cousin had passed away from substance abuse, and he was dealing with health issues as well. But for me, it was just a calling from God to uh, put out a work that empowers people that are struggling with substance abuse and living in pleasure and fulfilling their purpose. Because we all have our each unique distractions, and I think being able to be aware about those distractions and aware of your pleasures can help you into your purpose. So for me, that project was special because I self-funded it. I gathered a bunch of my friends that wanted to help out. I went on Facebook uh, to see if anybody wanted to help me AD. So I really just it was like, I would say it was hard with the shooting because it was my first time scheduling, and sometimes the shots ran over. But I think overall, it was a learning process, and I think everything that I learned through my experience with Pop is gonna go to the next project. So I'm just so happy to have a community and family and friends that can help me with my project. And Purpose Over Pleasure is the first of many that I will produce and act in and direct. So uh, I can't wait to see what's in store for the future.
Absolutely. I love that. Congratulations on that as well.
Thank
Just
you.
amazing. Yeah. So also just want to talk about your books too, which I think is amazing. You mentioned that you've made a children's book as well as your affirmations book. So just curious if you could talk more about that venture and what led you to wanting to explore that.
I think, like I said, I think for me, I went the self-publishing route, so it was way more affordable than going through a publisher, and it's a cost-effective way to just tell your story. Like, if anybody want to get into storytelling, start off with a book, a comic book. I have a comic book on the way as well, but start off where you can. Even if you don't publish it, just write something, just create something, shoot something on your phone. Um, I think for me, just being able to start with what you have and what I had a laptop and I knew how to sign in and make an account to, get the self-publishing started. So I think for me, it was very doable. And, you know, uh, film is expensive. So I think I definitely knew I wasn't going to put that film out first. So I think literature will just always be a part of me because it's so easy. Uh, sometimes I have writer's block, but I will say, uh, as far as financially and being able to do, I always been that person to just take that initiative, take that leap because I learned from repetition. I learned from doing and being. We're called to become human beings, you know. So I want to be what I feel inside, and for me, that was something easy to do, and that's how I became an author. Yeah.
Love that. Beautiful answer. So we're coming up on our last two questions and would just love to hear more about any advice that you have for someone who is just trying to break into the entertainment industry specifically. Just any advice that you would give them to sort of provide any encouragement.
Oh yeah, for sure. This has been on my heart for the past couple months. Like, God's been telling me, focus on your development, focus on your craft, focus on cultivating that because the attention, the eyes is going to get there at the right time. Like, I'm not even worried about success. I'm not worried about being on the red carpet. I'm not worried about getting awards. I just want God to develop me and who He created me to be so I can serve the people who He's called, you, uh, help me call to serve. So for me, I just want to be in a position of service and growth. And who am I becoming along the way? I think the prize is in the process, and that's something I learned with my first book, football. The way I played football translating is how I move in the industry. You know, first one in the weight room, last one in the weight room, leading the guys on the field, leading the guys off the field. So just being able to carry those transactional skills into other areas in life has has been very influential in my life. And for anybody creative wanting to get in the industry, just focus on your development, your craft, honing in on your skills. Yes, you have to network. Yes, you have to put yourself out there, but don't focus on the destination. Just focus on who you're becoming along the way, and those opportunities will come. I don't even care about success anymore. Honestly, I'm already successful because I'm already happy and I'm already doing what I love. And so anything else from here is honestly just a huge cherry on top. So focus on your development and be persistent. I could say that to anybody that's wanting to break into the industry.
Wow, love that. Absolutely. Great, just great insight and advice there. I love what you said about happiness. Just, happiness is being successful, being truly happy, just, having that outlook and that mindset is, I think, the true example of success that you want to aspire or achieve to have. So, love that you touched on that. So, we are at our last question, and it may be a bit of a heavy one when you think about it, but just want to ask you when you think about your legacy, what would you want it to be?
I want my legacy to be fruitful for my community, my peers around me. Even when I'm gone, I think you want to create something that lives beyond you and that inspires people. I know Nipsey Hussle said the greatest human act is to inspire. So if I can inspire my grandma, random person on the street, just anybody, that's the job is done, you know. So for me, I want my legacy to be inspirational. I want my legacy to help people get closer, not only to God, but to their uh, God given purpose, you know? So legacy is a lot for me. It's health and wealth, you know? I want to have a farm uh, later on in life and provide healthy products to communities that are in need and people of color instead of those liquor stores on every corner. You know, why not have organic, healthy mart on each corner? So I think for me, I think my nonprofit work will be later on in life because I always want to just be a master before I can start telling somebody what to do. So I'm still learning and growing right now as a young creative, but I will say legacy for me is building communities that nurture growth, whether it's for your soul, your body, and your mind. And I want to be able to create, rec centers in my hometown, just creating a space where bringing community together. That's where I see legacy. That's my long-winded answer.
No, that was a wonderful answer. Just wow. Um, yeah, everything that you said, I think, is going to resonate with a lot of people. I think just your messages about discovering what your purpose is and truly walking in that purpose once you have it. And then you also just talked about like being of service to others and just constantly learning and growing throughout life. And I love that you touched upon community because I think community is very important, especially just in the time that we're living in now. Is important to have people around you to sort of uplift you and to lean on. So I love that you touched upon that, just helping the community with like rec centers and different ways for people to feel loved and everything. So wonderful answer. I think you are so amazing. Just everything that you talked about today. I want to thank
Likewise,
you
thank
for
you.
sharing. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I just want to thank you for just being so open about everything that you've gone through in your journey. And again, just want to congratulate you on all your success. And I think you are just at the beginning of all the things that are destined for you and just all the talent you have inside of you, I think is helping so many people. And when people see this, I think they're just going to feel inspired and like they can tackle anything and that they could chase their dreams. So I just want to thank you for just being so awesome and sharing your journey with us today.
The pleasure is mine. Thank you for taking time out of your day, and I appreciate this opportunity. And watch out for my comic book coming out later this year. That's a little hint,
Okay.
hint. Comic book dropping later this year, so stay tuned for that. But I appreciate your time, and I can't wait to see you at the top.
I want to thank you for joining us today and tuning into another episode of HBCU in Entertainment. If this episode resonated with you, please comment, rate, and review the podcast. Your feedback means the world. Until next time, we appreciate you for lending us your ears. Catch you in the next episode.